Steve Cassidy here again, and I want to go and do a little bit more looking around HTTP. I'm starting with a little project that I did in one of the Python videos on Bottle, just a little web application that gives me a very simple application. The reason I'm doing this is because it's a nice simple bit of a server and not too much complicated HTML. So I'm running my server here, running my Bottle application, and I can go to my browser and I can request the page here, and you can see here's the request, and I can view the request and the response here. So here's the request headers, here's the response headers in the browser. So we can see these, and while we're in PyCharm we can see the requests coming through. What I wanted to do was actually go and do it a slightly different way. So using the terminal, so I'm just going to use the terminal feature here, and I'm on a Mac here using Mac commands. So this wouldn't work on Windows. It does have a terminal, but it doesn't have these commands. What I'm going to do is actually going to, on the command line, make that request to the server. So what we have is a server that's listening on port 8080 on this host, this IP address 127.0.0.1. It's listening on port 8080 for requests. So what I can do is I can use a command called nc, which is a program called Netcat. On another Unix system it might be called Netcat, to open up a connection to the IP address that my server is listening on, and the port that my server is listening on. So the nc command does all sorts of things, but in this case what it's doing is opening up a connection to that machine, to that port, which is again on my local machine, and it's going to allow me to send things. So now it's basically listening for me to type stuff, and whatever I type will be sent directly to the server at the other side. So I can actually issue a GET request. So I can say get /HTTP 1.1 OK, and then the second line has to be the host. I'm going to say the host is localhost, and then I could keep adding further headers, but that's about as minimal a HTTP request that I can get. So I'll leave it at that, and I hit a blank line. As soon as I hit a blank line, the server on the other end that's listening, so far it's got what I've typed directly. The server's listening on the other end, and it's going to respond to that. So there you can see the response that came through. So as soon as I hit the blank line and the return on that blank line, then I got my response, and the response is coming from the server, HTTP 1.0 200 OK. So it's basically saying it is only, although I said I understand HTTP 1.1, it says I understand HTTP 1.0, and here's your response. And it says here's the date, here's the server, this is the Python built-in web server. Content length, is this how many characters it's going to send, and the content type, this is the kind of stuff, so it's sending me HTML, and then a blank line followed by the contents of the page that is being sent. And so we should see here that last one there is the request that was sent. So 200 response 1045 is the number of characters, 1045 characters that were sent. So just using nc, very simple, just showing really how simple this protocol is. I just open a connection, I type the headers, the request and the headers, blank line, and I get my response. So we can send headers, send requests in that kind of a manner in order to try and understand the HTTP protocol. Unfortunately, you can't do this easily on Windows because you don't have the nc command or the telnet command that would be handy to do that. So we can't. If you're on a Mac or a Unix system, you can do this, or you'll just have to watch my version on the video. Thanks.